Lapis lazuli, LAPS lazuli, also lazuli, or layula, or lapis for short, is a deep blue semi-precious stone that has been prized since antiquity for its intense color. Lapis lazuli was being mined in the Sarisang mines and in other mines in the Badakhshan province in northeast Afghanistan as early as the 7th millennium BCE. Lapis beads have been found at Neolithic burials in Meghar, the Caucasus, and even as far from Afghanistan as Mauritania. It was used for the eyebrows on the funeral mask of Tutankhamun. At the end of the Middle Ages, lapis lazuli began to be exported to Europe, where it was ground into powder and made into ultramarine, the finest and most expensive of all blue pigments. It was used by the most important artists of the Renaissance and Baroque, including Masaccio, Perugino, Titian and Vermeer, and was often reserved for the clothing of the central figure of the painting, especially the Virgin Mary. Today mines in northeast Afghanistan and Pakistan are still the major source of lapis lazuli. Important amounts are also produced from mines west of Lake Baikal in Russia, and in the Andes Mountains in Chile. Smaller quantities are mined in Italy, Mongolia, the United States and Canada. Etymology: lapis is the Latin word for stone, and lazuli is the genitive form of the medieval Latin lazulum, which is taken from the Arabic lazarwad, itself from the Persian lazarvad, which is the name of the stone in Persian and also of a place where lapis lazuli was mined. The name of the stone came to be associated with its color. The English word azure, Czech lazurit, French azur, Italian azzurro, Polish lazur, Romanian azur and azuriu, Portuguese and Spanish azul, and Hungarian azur all come from the name and color of lapis lazuli. Science and uses. A sample from the Sarisang mine in Afghanistan, where lapis lazuli has been mined since the 7th millennium BCE. A polished block of lapis lazuli, natural ultramarine pigment made from ground lapis lazuli. This was the most expensive blue pigment during the Renaissance, often reserved for depicting the robes of angels or the Virgin Mary. Composition: lapis lazuli is a rock whose most important mineral component is lazurite, a feldspathoid silicate mineral with the formula 861-2. Most lapis lazuli also contains calcite, sodalite, and pyrite. Other possible constituents: augite, diopside, instatite, mica, hauenite, hornblende, and nosen. Some lapis lazuli contains trace amounts of the sulfur-rich lolangite variety guyarite. Lapis lazuli usually occurs in crystalline marble as a result of contact metamorphism. Color: the intense blue color is due to the presence of the trisulfur radical anion in the crystal. An electronic excitation of one electron from the highest doubly filled molecular orbital into the lowest singly occupied orbital results in a very intense absorption line at lambda max tilde 617 nanometers. Sources: lapis lazuli is found in limestone in the Kokcha River valley of Badakhshan province in northeastern Afghanistan, where the Sarisang mine deposits have been worked for more than 6,000 years. Afghanistan was the source of lapis for the ancient Egyptian and Mesopotamian civilizations, as well as the later Greeks and Romans. Ancient Egyptians obtained this material through trade from Afghanistan. During the height of the Indus Valley Civilization about 2000 BCE, the Harappan colony now known as Shortugai was established near the lapis mines. According to the Sorbonne's mineralogist Pierre Barrian's leading work on the sources of lapis lazuli in modern times, and to references in Afghanistan's Blue Treasure, Lapis Lazuli by Laeli McNair Bakhter. The lapis lazuli is found in caves, not traditionally considered mines, and the stone lapis lazuli is from the primary source of the Hindu Kush mountains in Afghanistan's Koshka River Valley and not in Pakistan. In addition to the Afghan deposits, lapis is also extracted in the Andes, and to the west of Lake Baikal in Siberia, Russia, at the Tultua lazurite deposit. It is mined in smaller amounts in Angola, Argentina, Burma, Pakistan, Canada, Italy, India, and in the USA in California and Colorado. Alternatives: lapis lazuli is commercially synthesized or simulated by the Gilson process, which is used to make artificial ultramarine anhydrous zinc phosphates. It may also be substituted by spinel or sodalite, or by dyed jasper or howlite. Uses: lapis takes an excellent polish and can be made into jewelry, carvings, boxes, mosaics, ornaments, and vases. It was also ground and processed to make the pigment ultramarine, widely used during the Renaissance in frescoes and oil painting. Its usage as a pigment in oil paint largely ended in the early 19th century when a chemically identical synthetic variety became available. History and art. A Mesopotamian lapis lazuli pendant circa 2900 BCE. A lapis lazuli bowl from Iran. Close-up of the lapis lazuli inlays in the 25th century BCE statue of Ebihl. In the funeral mask of Tutankhamun, lapis lazuli was used for the eyebrows of the young pharaoh. An elephant carving on high-quality lapis lazuli, which includes gold-colored pyrite, is a rare example of Mughal-inspired art. Carved lapis lazuli mountain scene, from the Chinese Qing dynasty. Girl with a Pearl Earring by Johannes Vermeer is painted with ultramarine, a natural pigment made from lapis lazuli. A lapis lazuli urn 2 meters high from the State Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, Russia. In the ancient world, lapis lazuli has been mined in Afghanistan and exported to the Mediterranean world and South Asia since the Neolithic age. Lapis lazuli beads have been found at Mehrgarh, a Neolithic site near Quetta in Pakistan, on the ancient trade route between Afghanistan and the Indus Valley, dating to the 7th millennium BCE. Quantities of these beads have also been found at 4th millennium BCE settlements in northern Mesopotamia, and at the Bronze Age site of Shah-e-Sukta in southeast Iran. A dagger with a lapis handle, a bowl inlaid with lapis, and amulets, beads, and inlays representing eyebrows and beards were found in the royal tombs of the Sumerian city-state of Ur from the 3rd millennium BCE. Lapis was also used in ancient Mesopotamia by the Akkadians, Assyrians, and Babylonians for seals and jewelry. In the Mesopotamian poem The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known works of literature, lapis lazuli is mentioned several times. The statue of Ebihl, a 3rd millennium BCE statue found in the ancient city-state of Mari in modern-day Syria, now in the Louvre, uses lapis lazuli inlays for the irises of the eyes. Lapis lazuli also made its way across the Mediterranean to ancient Egypt, where it was a favorite stone for amulets and ornaments such as scarabs. Lapis jewelry has been found at excavations of the pre-dynastic Egyptian site, Naqada. At Karnak, the relief carvings of Thutmose III show fragments and barrel-shaped pieces of lapis lazuli being delivered to him as tribute. Powdered lapis was used as eyeshadow by Cleopatra. In late classical times and as late as the Middle Ages, lapis lazuli was often called sapphire, though it had little to do with the stone today known as the blue corundum variety sapphire. In his book on stones, the Greek scientist Theophrastus described the sapphirus, which is speckled with gold, a description which matches lapis lazuli. There are many references to sapphires in the Old Testament, but most scholars agree that, since sapphires were not known before the Roman Empire, they most likely are references to lapis lazuli. For instance, Exodus chapter 24 verse 10. As they saw the God of Israel, and there was under his feet as it were a paved work of a sapphire stone. The term used in the Latin Vulgate Bible in this citation is lapidus sapphiri, the term for lapis lazuli. Modern translations of the Bible, such as the New Living Translation 2nd edition, refer to lapis lazuli in most instances instead of sapphire.